What's up? Welcome back, Nitro Nation. Oh, here we go. He is back. We have just made it back. I thought we were gonna have to stall for a little bit. I think we got a pretty good connection here, live from somewhere in between Reading, Pennsylvania, and Charlotte, North Carolina, in a KOA. Mr. Shawn Reed, our top fuel winner from Reading. Shawn, congratulations, man. A little bit different than the last time you were on the show.
Yeah, a lot different. Boy, 7, 8 weeks have changed a lot of things. I'll tell you.
Yeah, it has. So tell me. So you were explaining to me the last time the euphoric state, if you will, of the ambulance ride out of the track. Tell me about the euphoric state of going out with the hardware this time.
Well, it's crazy. The last couple of weeks have been just kind of a whirlwind, to tell you the truth. I mean, after Indy and Jordan Vandergriff driving the car, I mean, I kind of felt that I might be able to drive the car in Indy, and then I just made a decision there on like Sunday, like the last qualifying day. I just said, "Look, guys, we're gonna go to the IHRA race next weekend so I can test my hand out because I just want to know what I'm getting into, see if I can do it before I, truck all the way over to Reading." So went over there and got in the car and did pretty good. Won that thing and had some really tight races, but I did end up winning that thing and came over here and boy, Wendland and Ryan, they just A to B, just kind of lulled them to sleep, I guess, with my low 80s, and
Yeah,
holy crud! I mean, I'm proud of Wendland and Ryan for kind of detuning that thing, and that was a tricky track, and you just can't pour the coals to it there. So, man, congrats to them. Got me my first Wally. Just it got a silver, what they call it, a stone, something. I got it sitting right over there somewhere, but it's um, I don't know what an Iron Man. They called it an Iron Man, and then I got a Wally. So pretty dang cool. Pretty dang cool.
Speaking of Rob, congratulations to him. Yeah, a big day all around for Reed Racing, right? It was a new granddaughter announcement, I think, is what it was. So congrats to crew chief Rob.
Yeah.
But you were speaking about detuning. I was looking that you ran. You fell off a little bit from the first round. I guess they were able to keep up with the weather and the track conditions and kind of figure out what it was going to do because you kind of settled in right there at the 83. It's like you brought a bracket car and a top fuel race broke out. It's like wow, man, they were just on the number
Yeah.
and on the track conditions all day long. How'd that feel?
Man, just I mean, it felt great. I mean, I'm just gosh, I've gotten kind of used to, rattling the tires. I mean, my car is just angry and mean to 60 foot, and it's if I can get past, 60, 80 feet, we usually go down the track and pretty dang good, right? So, for some reason, way above my pay grade. I mean, it has to do with clutch, I'm sure, clutch discs, but just aggressiveness and we just kind of detuned that kind of part of our program and concentrated more on getting down the track. And I told Rob, I said, man, we learn we learn just the same by going down the track and losing as we learn more that way than we do smoking tires at 60 foot. Because if we go down the track and we lose by 3 or 4 feet, at least we have the data all the way down the track. We know where we can gain, and that's kind of the game plan here. Is go down the track and go about it that way, and it sure worked out, man. I was just stoked to go down the track eight times in a row. 8 times in a
That's
row.
a that's a
Pretty
great
good.
weekend. That doesn't happen every weekend.
Yeah.
But what's the old adage there in
Uh,
racing? To finish first you must finish, right? So you got to get to A to
that's
B,
right.
and you got to be there in the show to win it.
Yeah.
But how's the hand healing up? How's
Yeah.
that?
Oh, it's a little swollen. I mean, it's still a lot swollen, but it's still getting used to it. It's like I've been saying for a few weeks, it's tolerable and manageable. I got special gloves made. They fit my 3 fingers. I got a different wheel, a Max Papa wheel, and they're kind of a similar thing to J.R. Todd. Um, I believe Spencer Hyde now's went to that wheel. And I don't know if it's because of my wreck or not, but that butterfly wheel's it's a flying knife in there when your hands in the middle of that thing and you hit a wall like I did and it just turns that wheel so hard and so fast you can't even get your hand out of the way. So, J.R. Todd, Spencer, I think Dan Mercier and me are now having that wheel. I really believe that wheel would have probably saved my
You
hand,
think
my
so?
finger. I think so. I mean, it's a better grip. It's a softer, all the way around. It's easy. I think it's easy. It's easy to grasp, however you want to say that, and then I think it's easy for your hand to get knocked off the wheel if you have a blunt force or a sudden impact. So I think it just kind of falls
Yeah.
off. Where a butterfly wheel, I mean, your hand and your fingers are wrapped around inside the metal part of it. So yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I've got 8 and 5, I got 13 laps with it now, and it seems to be doing pretty good. I don't mind it at all. I don't think I'll ever go back.
Well, see that. So that was. Did you have it in the IHRA race too? Yeah. So you're
I
not going to
did.
need it. You're
I
not
did. That was
ever
my
going to
first
need another
experience with
steering
it.
wheel ever again. You're gonna take that one everywhere. I did read the first
Yeah,
driver
yeah,
since
yeah.
'99, since Herbert, to win back to back IHRA and NHRA
Mhm.
Top Fuel races. I read that somewhere today.
You know what? I just read that about 20 miles back, and I was like, wow, pretty cool. And Tony Stewart just texted me. He says, "Well, he goes, you're the second one to do that since Herbert." And then he said, "I'm the first one ever to win a pro race, Bradenton, IHRA and NHRA in the same season. I'm the
There
only
you have
one."
it. That's pretty cool. Racking
So
them up, racking them up.
yeah,
Great season.
yeah. I don't know about that, man. I mean, I'm telling you what. I mean, uh, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, man. I mean, it's pretty cool. I'll never take that away. Nobody can ever take that away from us. But look, man, these guys are tough. They're going to be all tough going down the stretch, man. And I just, I hope we can stay in that top five is my goal. I mean, to get
It's a
from
big
10 to
leap.
5 in one race yeah, incredible, incredible. I tell you the truth, man. But I said. I said in my interview, in my press conference afterwards, they're like, "Man, how do after losing a finger and winning the next two races you drove in, what are you thinking, man?" I'm like, "Hey, take another finger, let's roll to Charlotte, baby."
They can take them all as long as it keeps winning and working. And we'll
Yeah,
figure it out later. They
yeah,
make prosthetics now.
right. I yeah, I got 7 more fingers and 5 more races. If I could win all them,
We
I'd
start
have a
nipping
couple
at
of
some
thumbs and a
toes. We
stubby.
can
But
nip on
man,
some
we
toes if it means that much. But
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't wish that on anybody. It's I still I still play games with myself. You gotta itch my cheek, and I poke my middle finger in my eyeball, and I mean it's just there's crazy stuff going on there. I still
well,
think
some
I have a
adjustment,
finger.
if you will.
Yeah, there's some
But
adjustments,
well,
that's for
since
sure.
that's pretty fresh still, I wanted to ask you,
Yeah,
with the collision between Doug and Tony there at the big end. It looked like possible wheel failure, something within the drive line of the left front there failed, obviously.
yeah,
But what,
yeah.
man, when you guys get down there to the finish line, I know I'm not going to say you're just comfortable, but when you do things so much, like there's an order of events that happen. You get to the big end, and then you kind of start detuning from the run and slowing down. That's not something that you expect somebody to come over. What as a driver, how I know you're alert, don't get me wrong, but how aware are you? But I think Tony might have had a little bit of advantage. I know Doug was out in front of him, so he probably saw him coming over, but man, you don't expect something coming over into your lane. What are you doing at that point in the run? You're trying to deprocess everything. What how take me through that.
Man, I don't. I mean, my run was, holy crap, man! It just went left, and like I said before, I mean, I remember the first impact, and then I'm went lights out for a minute or two. So, I talked to Tony. I mean, I could just speculate that you're right. I mean, you're driving down there. You know the chutes are out, and I mean, even though on camera it shows Dougie being in front of him a little bit. I mean, I guarantee you. I mean, he probably didn't get shish kebab out of his mouth before he
Right.
got hit, right? So. Um, it happens fast down there, and thank God the chutes were both out, and hey, I mean, thank goodness it front wheel and not a rear wheel, and again, I mean, it happened right in the traps. Most of us are most of the
Right.
that really saved him. He just couldn't steer. That went down, and then he went into Tony, then lost the left rear, I think. And I mean, my wife came running up to me and told me. I mean, I popped out of my car so quick. I think next to run. I was next to run, and I mean, I ran down to the starting line just with my helmet and stuff all on, and I got pretty emotional about it. I just another one, and I thought, oh gosh, no good. So. Yeah, pretty terrible, man. I mean, I was just talking to Doug about it, and I'm like, man, I hope you're not scared to run me. And he goes, no, 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 that was one in a million. And he goes out there and hangs a left, just like I did. And you know, and I gotta admit, you get down to the final pass too. I mean, nobody said anything about this yet, not in one media thing or not, but you know, last time I ran Dougie, I was in the right lane and he was in the left lane, and I turned left and hit the wall at 290, and that was yeah, 13 laps ago for me. And I gotta tell you, when I started the car, I thought about that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, just keep it together, because that's just nuts to even think about at that particular point.
That is unlikely. Two competitors that have recently wrecked and now they're running. But that's especially in top fuel. That's tough.
Yeah,
But so we made it from 10th to 5th.
yeah,
Big leap in
tight
the
for fifth.
yeah, big leap.
Yeah,
Um, what do we do from here? Do we just keep digging, right? We just keep putting
yeah,
down the number,
yeah, man.
getting from A to B.
Yeah, I just told my guys. I mean, I just told them. I said, man, just you know, enjoy this, man. I mean, it's 2 weeks in a row. Um, Pretty cool stuff to be running down the track in the against this kind of competition, man. They all want to win. I mean, think about it. We went through, you know, and granted they all smoke the tires on us. That's the kind of stuff that comes from me every time. And you know, went through the number one qualifier, number one in points, and number three in points. So I told him, I said, be proud of that, man. It's not going to happen very often. Them guys, can outrun us most of the time. So for us to run as consistent as we can, we did, and to make them guys have to maybe try to run a couple hundreds better, because they know we're running in the low 80s, and they're probably thinking we're gonna maybe go 80, 79 maybe, so they're trying to run 78, 77. That might just be enough to put them over the edge. So on that tricky track. So
Yep.
um, yeah, I mean, enjoy it, and let's get let's just enjoy the week, get down to Charlotte, and business as usual, man. Let's just go out there and try to put some good passes down, and hope the chips fall where they fall, and hopefully we can get a round or two, and maybe even get into another final, see what happens, man. I mean,
Hey,
it can
never know.
happen. It
Never
can
know.
happen.
You don't know until you show up and go.
Exactly.
But good luck coming up in Charlotte. I'm hoping to be out in Pomona, so I'm hoping to see you there out there in the finals.
Yeah, that was
Hoping to
that
get
was
out
that
there.
was always that was always my dream of last year. I said, that 10's pretty cool in my wing, but that whoops, sorry about that. I go, but that 10 is not going to be there next year. I says when I get to Vegas next year, somebody's going to be talking about me having a chance to win this thing, and that's been my goal since last Pomona, and by God, this race kicked us off to maybe getting there.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, good luck. I'm going to let you go get your RV set up. I know you just got there. Thank you very much for taking some time out of
Yeah.
your busy travel. We
Yeah, no
greatly
problem.
appreciate it, and good luck coming up in Charlotte. And
Yeah.
we'll do this again next time. How about that?
All right, man. Let's keep it going.
All right, Shawn. Have a good one. Good luck, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Bye.
All right, that was Shawn Reed, man. What a dude! What a dude! Stopping by on his travels through from Reading down to Charlotte for the 4 Wide Nationals. Got him a Wally traveling with a big grin on his face. Last time he said he was feeling really good when he left the racetrack when he had that wreck because of the medicine that they gave him. But the euphoric feeling was much better with a win. But let's dive into the final rounds. Interesting final round in motorcycle. Gage Herrera did not make the final round. Richard Gadsden did not make the final round. Gage fell off a little bit. Had a bye run in the first. It just kind of fell off and didn't have what it take to make it. So let's take a look at this final in motorcycle.
They leave. Hall is just about 200s better. Is Hall's bike to big
Bam.
smoke for Smith. John Hall. John Hall wins the first race of the
Watch what happens.
Hall is just about 200s better.
Look at the smoke coming out of his of the fairing there. Second bike this weekend that had issues in the engine compartment. 2 of them did. I can't remember who. I think it was Richard Gadsden actually had some issues. There's my pup. But anyway, John Hall, kind of slow reaction times for both the guys, but John Hall gets it done there in the final.
Bike to big smoke for Smith. John Hall. John Hall wins the first race of the countdown in pro stock motorcycle. 680 with a 2 at 199. In the back of my mind, I'm wondering, are any of these stories going to play out the way that you'd think they would? And this one actually did.
John Hall picks up his second victory on the season. Here's something that's incredible. 4 runs a day. Everyone was a 680, varied by 6,000ths of a second the entire day. John, how do you get that kind of consistency out of this bike?
Just do the same, try and do the same thing over and over. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. Today it worked, but I just got to thank this MSR team, Matt and Angie Smith, for giving me this great opportunity. Andy Ross, Rebel Beer, Lisa's here from Denzo. Thank you guys for everything you do. SNS, man, I couldn't do it without all these people. It's great. I'm having a good time. We're bringing the 4th home. We're going to have an even number now on the shelf. I know Matt has about, how many? 40 something. So we'll catch him. By the time I'm 90, I'll catch him.
Congratulations, John.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So John Hall steps up, first race of the countdown, puts a dent there in Gadsden and Gage Herrera's feelings, if you will. Really didn't see this final coming. Honestly, I really thought Gage would be in the final, but couldn't make it happen. Let's move to pro stock. Interesting event in the pro stock semifinal between Dallas Glenn and Greg Anderson. Greg Anderson did a burnout, and he crossed the staging beams. It was a weak burnout. Something happened with it. I'm not sure. But he backed up, back into the water, and did another burnout. NHRA's rule is once you cross the beams on your first burnout, you back up. You cannot cross that beam again until the lights turn green. All right, you got to stage it up, lights turn green. So Greg did his initial burnout, went past the beams, backed up, did his second burnout, and burned out past the beams, and that was that. He was disqualified there in the semifinal round against Dallas Glenn, and Dallas had a bye run into the finals. And he had Cody Coughlin. Cody struggling on the starting line. I think they said his average reaction time somewhere in like the 50s or 60s. I think he's struggling on the starting line. This is the final round here in pro stock. I mean,
Both
look,
cars tear off. Coughlin was 500ths behind Glenn.
I want you to focus on the two cars. You can physically see Dallas's car, the white car, move before Cody's car. That's how late Cody was compared to Dallas.
Both cars tear off. Coughlin was 500ths behind Glenn, and Glenn will march down to a 6:55.7 at 209 miles per hour. Dallas Glenn picking up another victory here in this countdown to the championship. A huge first start for this guy.
Dallas Glenn just told me that he's about, 62 points ahead. Not that he's counting in the championship chase. Holding that Wally last year, you got so close. It's like you're a man possessed coming back trying to get what you could have been yours last year. How good does it feel right now to be holding that Wally right here and a commanding points lead?
It definitely feels good. I feel like this race, first one of the countdown, everybody tightens their belts down a little tighter. Everything gets a little tougher, and this is one of the toughest ones to win, I think. I've always wanted to win here, especially, Kenny Koretsky, we're missing him here right now, but I really have to thank Rad Torque Systems. I mean, they've been putting up with me for 5 years now, and it is absolutely amazing. Everybody at KB Titan Racing, Hendrick, Summit, my wife, my family, it's because of people like that I get to follow my dreams and have a blast doing it. So let's go. It's yes. I don't know. Hey, buddy.
All right. So interesting. Like I said, interesting DQ in the semifinal round between Greg and Dallas. And then there was that interesting conversation between Tony and Erica. Anyway, Cruz Petragon only has 39 wins. I didn't realize that. I thought he had way more. I just always thought Cruiser had more Wallies than he does, but gets it done in the funny car final.
Blake Alexander, Cruz Petragon, the funny car final. And it's going to be a good one. All the way down to the finish line is Petragon. 396.9, 330 miles an hour. The multiple year wait is over.
330 mile an hour. Don't forget, remember when I told you guys how mile an hour is calculated in drag racing, right? It is from 66 foot from the finish line. There's a timing cone called the mile an hour cone. 66 foot from that is measured. It times it from once you break that beam and you break the finish line beam, it knows how long it takes you to get in between those two to cover that 66 foot. So then it times that out and it knows your mile an hour. So when they say it's 330 mile an hour, it is actually 330 mile an hour at the end of that racetrack. There we go. Oops.
And now they won the first race of the countdown.
Cruz Petragon down here celebrating with his guys and our favorite production manager. She was doing flip-flops back there in the TV compound. Cruiser, your 40th time you get to hoist a national event in Wally. The first time since 2022. Is the Cruiser back?
Oh, yeah, this is a big one, man. These things are hard to win. I tell my buddies that drive sprint cars all the time, you need to be in shape to do this, too. I'm wore out, but no, it's just been a process. I hired a young guy by the name of Jason Bunker. Everybody was, didn't think much of him, didn't know him, but he and I worked together, and man, I've been doing this a few years. So the fact that we put it together and Snap-on sticking behind us, they're the #1 tool, and there's a lot of pressure driving the Snap-on car because they're the best, and they've stuck with me. This is the 105 body, 105 years in business. What a great thing, and a lot of not so good things going on in our country right now. I want to send the best to the families, folks in Utah, and nothing political, just human beings, right? So this is big. 40. I used to kid Tony, my brother Tony, who's up in the booth. That was a bad little dude right there. He's got like 40-some wins, and it's taken me a lot longer. He quit 100 years ago, and he still has me beat with the Wallies. But, I just want to thank all the supporters, Tough Dog Security, Macro Air, Speed Dog, everybody that sticks with this team, man. But, I was emotional earlier, and I said, we've won a couple championships, and I haven't forgot how to do it. So as long as the Raiders are back, the Cruiser's back, baby. Yeah.
Just win, baby. Just win. Man, I really thought, oh yeah, Will. That's what I was going to actually right now. Big time crash in round 2 between Doug Coletta and Tony Stewart. They get going down there. They get to the finish line. Something in the drivetrain on Doug Coletta's front end left front, let go. But take a look at this.
Smoke and Doug. Round 2. Doug leaves first. And a great race goes to Doug. Oh, they're into each other. A big wreck on the top end. Doug Coletta won the race, and the car came across the track, and they both got together in the shutdown area. And we will stand by.
See, there's the wheels gone.
A scary moment here in Maple Grove. I do not know what happened. Doug
If you
Coletta's
look
car
right at the
through
finish line,
shutdown area,
the left front
and as
just
the parachutes
disintegrates
came out,
right
that car hung a left,
there.
and the two cars
It just
got into each
disintegrates.
other, and they both made a move
He
over
has
towards
nowhere
the
to
wall.
go.
And I will wait a report from the top end and the safety safari. There's Tony. And that's Doug Coletta, who Tony
Tony's
is
going to be a bit sore, I believe.
down there with his arm around. Man. What happened there?
Obviously a scary moment. Two of our brightest stars here in Top Fuel collided in the finish line. Doug, you got the win line past the finish line. It looked from what we saw that the wheel went out.
Yes, the left rear is down or blue or whatever, and so yeah, it was just unfortunate. Really, it just so happened so quick that there was nothing I could really do. So just glad we're going to the, we'll drag our other car out and see if we can keep this thing going here. But fortunately, Tony and I are good, so that's really the main thing.
Doug, I don't think I've ever seen you in the years I've been following the sport, but in an incident like that. Was that the first time you've had an encounter in a Top Fuel car?
That's probably the worst one that I've had, but yeah, it's been very fortunate over the years, and it's all part of it.
We're all glad to hear that you're okay.
Thanks.
Like Will said, yeah, like NASCAR Will said here on the TikTok chat. Very lucky. Tony got very lucky. That's and then we talked to Shawn about that just a second ago. Man, there's not a lot you can do to prepare for that, especially there at the end of the track. The race is over, right? You're kind of debriefing from the run, even though they're still running 270, 80 mile an hour. That's still, they're not accelerating anymore. But moving on, let's take a look at the finals. Shawn Reed and Doug Coletta. So this is what, let me ask you guys this. What do you think about NHRA's policy that if you crash your car, you can get a backup out and keep going? I don't know. I like, if you crash it in qualifying, gotta go back up. I'm cool with that. But like in eliminations, once you crash, you crash. But it's not the rules, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't like it either. But let's take a look at this final round.
Reed stays the car in there. Coletta smokes the tires. Shawn Reed wins the race. 384.4, 326 miles an hour. The planets are lined up. The fates decided who was going to win this thing. And Shawn Reed, 74 in the tree, 84 at the finish. You got to be kidding me.
What a storybook win for Shawn Reed. I can only imagine the emotion that's going through you right now after what you went through back in Seattle. You stood there and watched Jordan pilot this car and keep it running, keep this team together, keep it going. Your first time back, you get the first NHRA National Event Wally. What are you feeling right now?
Man, it's just crazy. Just crazy, man. To get this car to go A to B and up against the best, and it's just hard to kind of keep my composure right now. And then, my crew, man, they just work tirelessly in the shop. They put up with a lot of gunk. And Rob Winland, Ryan, Tuna, all my guys, man, so great for them. Redline Oil, Mark Beatty, he's just bad to the bone. HO Truck Parts, heavy duty truck parts, Rich Ryan, man, I love that guy. He helped us so much. And I just want to thank everybody for, sticking around, sticking by us. And hey, how about this Reading, man? I mean, last year we didn't even qualify here. And, this is so awesome to come here in a packed house. Everybody's been so supportive of what I went through, what our teams went through. And I just want to thank every racer, fan, crew chief, owner, everybody that's ever reached out to us, probably 4,000 or 5,000 deep, man. So I appreciate everybody. Love you all. NHRA Drag Racing.
Man, can't beat it. He stopped by. Him and Jordan came by the show a few weeks ago, right before Seattle. And man, it was fun talking to him now, and then coming back and getting his very first Wally and his very first show, NHRA show back. Again, first driver since 1999 to win back-to-back NHRA or IHRA and NHRA events. First one since Doug Hubbard. So, man, can't say enough. Big fan of Shawn Reed. He's doing it his own way. You see all these cars with all these sponsors on the side of the car, and you look at a Shawn Reed car and it says Shawn Reed on the side of it. Excuse me. Big fan of Shawn. So really appreciate him for stopping by. But we're gonna cut it off. Probably be back next Monday, or the Monday after. Probably the Monday after the four wides. We're gonna come back and talk about the four wides, and maybe we'll talk about another Shawn Reed Wally. We'll see what happens. But hey, thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. I'm Big Duke for everyone there at Above the Yellow Line. This has been Nitro Nation. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all have a good night.